All right, guys, welcome to another episode of BeanTown, BeatDowns, Banter, and BullShit. We got a good one tonight for you. A few weeks ago, had my man Cito, Lottie Navarro, on. It was his pro debut in bare knuckle boxing. He came out, he gave us a minute and 22 seconds, I think, of content. Unbelievable. But he was on, that really was my introduction to this sport. And one of the matches on there, we had Zach Calmus on the other night, who fought Kyle McElroy, and rumor is this is supposed to be Kyle McElroy's next opponent here tonight. Bobo O'Bannon, Zach mentioned him in his podcast. I watched their fight today for the first time, and I posted it on my page. You guys check it out. Unbelievable. Like warrior stuff. So we'll get to it. We want to thank our sponsors, Platts Landscaping, Sharon's Boxing, Rivera Promotions Entertainment, and Remodel Works, and Emily's Interiors. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here tonight. So thank you, and thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get to it. All right, guys. Here we are tonight. As I was just mentioning, special guest tonight. I've told you all about the bare knuckle business we're getting into now. Bobo O'Bannon, my man, heavyweight. Now,
yes, sir.
It's rumored that, before we get into it, that your next fight could be Kyle McElroy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I can't wait myself. We're going to get into it now, the whole story behind everything. But I want to thank you for coming on. And
thank you for having me, man.
Fantastic, my man. So now I'll tell you, we had Cito on, my man Lottie Navarro. He's from Worcester. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
He was the first fight on that card. So that was really my first time watching bare knuckle. I really didn't even know that it existed like to this extent. So I'm new, and I gotta be honest right off the bat. But the first fight that really came to me after Cito's was Zach and Kyle. The fight was crazy. The end of it was crazy. And I picked Zach because I didn't like the way that Kyle acted throughout the fight. Now, with Shamrock Sports, I was going for the Irish guy right off the bat because I had no idea. And through the match, I was like, oh man, Zach is trying to be cool with him. Like, a lot of respect. And he didn't show like sportsmanship in there. So we had Zach on. The audio was not, I didn't want to do him disservice. It was too screwed up to put out there, but we'll have him on again. It was a great conversation with him. I talked with Alex too. But for now, after I watched that fight and I started watching Zach's page and started doing my homework, I see you popping up here. And Zach had mentioned you on that podcast. He said he had mentioned the fight, which I hadn't seen yet, so I really didn't know what he was talking about. And I watched it today for the first time, and I'm astonished, like absolutely astonished. They were unbelievable, both of you guys. You know what I mean? And it's even more credit to Zach because you won the fight, and he was still cool, like to the very end, man, and he was still ready to go. That was like a movie today. Watching that, like crazy.
Yeah, look, let me tell you, just talking about him being cool all the way to the end. He was even cool before I get a call Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Hey, will you come fight this? I need somebody. I need you, bro. I need you to come up here and fight this guy, Zach Calmus.
That's incredible as it is. That's crazy.
Look, yeah, I walk into the break room at work 9:30 in the morning, Monday morning. And next thing I know, I'm going to my boss, seeing if I can take a vacation day Thursday so I can drive up Wednesday after work to go fight. And so that's what I did. So I drive up there Wednesday. I walk into the hotel lobby. I don't know if you know, but when we're at these events, all the fighters kind of gather together in the hotel lobbies, and everybody kind of talks, cuts up, whatever. There's a couple bad apples in every group that don't get involved in it, but whatever. Anyhow, I walk into the lobby and it's full of fighters. No surprise. And I see Zach, and I only knew who he was for about, I don't know, 48 hours before the fight, before that time. whenever I looked him up or whatever, I found him on Facebook. I couldn't find no footage of him fighting or nothing. And so anyhow, he walks up to me, shakes my head. Bobo, man, it's an honor, man. Thank you so much for taking the fight, man. It's just one of the happiest days of my life. Thank you so much, man. And I was like, no problem, man, no problem. I'm just glad that we the fight got accepted. We got the fight made. We can make it happen. Put on a good show for the people. Yeah, man. Me too, man. Me too. That's the number one goal. So I'm just right off the bat, man. I'm super cool dude. Well, fast forward to after the fight, we're backstage. He's like, Bobo, man, look, my eye's hurting. Can you see if there's anything in it? And his eye's full shut, completely shut.
Yeah.
And so I peel his eye back, and he's got dried blood in there. Big clumps of dried blood in there. I don't know if you've ever dealt with it before, but dried blood gets hard and crispy and crinkly. And what was going on is that dried blood was in his swollen eye there, and it was stabbing his eye, eyelids, so to speak, being sharp on his eye. So I reach in there and, wipe all the dried blood out. And oh man, that's so much better. Thank you, bro. We hugged again. We talked for a few minutes. Then I had to, go get my stitches after that. But we stayed in touch after that. Super, super cool dude, man. Really is super. I mean, I want to say down to earth guy, man. He really is. I got nothing but good to say about Zach, man.
He had the same respect back. Like I at that point, I hadn't seen anything of you yet, and after I checked it out, he was right. Phenomenal, man. But I posted that fight today on my page, guys. You got to check it out because unreal, unbelievable.
Fight of the night.
Fight of the year. It had to be considered at least in the mix. Like
they didn't even give us a nomination.
That's horrible. I got to see the other fights, I suppose. But every time Zach would continue, the crowd would get into it. Like, you guys, I mean, it was nonstop blows, nonstop. Amazing.
Yeah, we definitely went to battle with one another that night, no doubt about it.
Phenomenal. So now, where did you? Give me your backstory. Give me where did you start out fighting? Did you have a boxing background? Did you?
Man, I've always been an athlete. I've had to work. I had to work real hard at baseball, but I was real good at baseball. I was 14 years old, throwing 87, 88 mile an hour fastballs, and then my freshman year of high school, a year later, I dislocated my shoulder, which ended my baseball career immediately. But it looked good because I had a career in football. Well, then I decided I didn't want to go to college because high school was a big enough of a waste of my time, I felt like. So I made my grade point average to where I could still play high school football, but never would be able to play college. And so that's what I did. I went and learned a trade after high school and become a millwright. Well, at the end of high school, I found out there was a tough man contest at the fairgrounds in Mobile, a tough man style contest, 16-ounce boxing gloves on, no headgear, one night single elimination boxing tournament is what it is. And the first time I went out there, I knocked out the first guy in like 20 seconds. I'm like, man, heck yeah, this fits to be easy. I get in there with the second guy that knew how to fight, and he just beat the tar out of me, man. And I'm still all big, buff, muscular, football, 6'3". I think I was like 290 pounds at the time, wearing the same size breeches what I wear now. And just a house of a person. Well, there's difference in being football in shape and strong and being fighting in shape and strong. And I found that out quickly. But I say quickly, I went and fought, I think, 3 or 4 tough man contests, and I'd always knock out the first guy, sometimes the first 2, and then get in there with the guy with experience and get my head beat in. And so I finally, Mr. Johnny Smith out of Mobile, I started training with him. I was 335 pounds. And I could flex my arm, and my arm right around here was 21.5 inches. I was heavily into lifting weights and just wanted to be big. Just, it was a hobby. It was something that kept me out of trouble, and I enjoyed doing it.
Yep.
Well, I started fighting. I went from 335 to 225 in about 10.5 months. And in 2017, I won all the tough man contests at the fairgrounds in Mobile. Then I went and won the original tough man contest that was on FX, Fox Sports, whatever. Won it in Biloxi at the Hard Rock Casino in Biloxi, and qualified to go to the Worlds, which I chose not to do. It cost me too much money to go fight that fight. Anyhow, I turned pro in boxing, and I was doing good. I was doing real good. I had one fight I pulled with a guy named Eric Leander. I took the fight on once again. They called me on a Monday around lunchtime. I was at lunch at work when they called me, and I flew out Wednesday to go fight him.
Wow.
And yeah, that one didn't go my way. I got stopped in the first round on that one, but there again, I young and dumb, was on a little drinking binge, and just wasn't training at the time. Oh, I can whip him. I can whip. Yeah, no, you can't, dummy. Not when you're in shape.
Yeah,
So, so I did that. Well, rock on. I had a very unfortunate event. I had you'll see a P on the bottom corner of my trunks. You'll see a P with a halo over it, and that's for Poncho. Um, Poncho, what he went by. We fought. He was 2-0. I think I was 5-2, 4-2, and he ended up. He fell dead in the ring, and apparently, I don't know. I remember the first 45 seconds of the fight. I dropped him, and then he dropped me twice, and I went to sleep. I woke up later on that night, standing in front of a flashlight. It looked like in my underwear, and I was doing a review, interview in my underwear, and I couldn't understand what they were saying, so I was just nodding and shaking my head at whatever they was asking me.
yep.
And but that hit me hard, man. That hit me real hard after that fight, and I quit training. I weighed in at 251 pounds that
Wow.
fight. That was with blue jeans, tennis shoes, t-shirt, phone, keys, wallet. The whole, I had everything on me. Weighed in 251, and after that, next time I weighed in, I think it was somewhere around 270, 280. And I just never got back in shape. I was afraid it was going to happen again. I just, I didn't want to do that to anybody else.
Yep.
So I ended up going like 10-6 in my pro boxing career. After that fight happened, I wanted to seek out my end. And so they was paying me to go up and spar with Deontay Wilder in Tuscaloosa.
I saw
And
that today. That was the first time I had heard of that. I saw the picture. Unreal.
yeah.
You
Well,
sparred with Deontay Wilder.
yep, I sparred with him to get ready for a fight out in Idaho. I was fighting a guy that was 6'8", and Deontay being 6'7", 6'8", he closest thing I can get as far as height wise went. And so I went up there sparring with him, and man, everybody talks about how hard D hits, and he does. He hits hard, but nobody talks about his speed. My goodness, man, it's unreal. It looks normal on TV, but you got to figure he's standing a foot and a half further away from you, making his punches look just as quick as a middleweight.
Right.
And they're traveling twice the distance in the same amount of time. And I mean, it's unreal. Well, anyhow, I ended up with having to not do that anymore and just quitting boxing altogether. And fast forward, and I seen my old buddy Brock Weaver. We from right there. He's from McIntosh. I'm from Mobile. We went to the same gym for a couple of years there. He was a little kid back then. I take my time and show him different stuff on the bag, and just show him how to throw his punches. And just one of the kids there that I took my time with, And come to find out, one day I'm looking at YouTube and I see Brock Weaver talking about his first bare knuckle fight. Oh, nah, maybe at the bar, bud, but that's not legal. Then I got to looking into it, and sure enough, I said, well, look, he just fought Joe Riggs, bare knuckle, heck yeah. So I reached out to Brock. Brock was like, man, Mr. Roy was wrapping my hands, and me and Mr. Roy was talking about you. You come up in the conversation. Mr. Roy said, if you get in shape, you can come and you can own this. This would be your deal here. Wouldn't nobody be able to touch you. And so I called Mr. Roy and Roy Jones Sr., and I started going over to Pensacola, training with him a little bit here and there, and ended up having my first bare knuckle fight. Fought Troy Beats. I called Nate Shook the second week of January. I was 305 pounds. Told him I wanted to fight. And by the second week of April, I went from 305 pounds. I think I weighed in at like 259.
I saw that. I saw the side by side. Somebody had done a side by side on it, and I was going to ask you at one point. You dropped all that weight. That's crazy.
Yeah, I went to work, man. I started whenever I was lifting weights. I was trying to be a bodybuilder. I thought I was going to be a bodybuilder. And the last thing I did is I purchased a diet, a cut diet to lean you out. And I never did use it because all I was worried about was bulking up, just getting as big as I possibly could. Well, I man, I was taking everything that you could buy at a GNC, creatines, the NO boosters, vasodilator, everything, protein shakes and bars and everything I can get. I was taking, and so I got big. But anyhow, I finally did that diet along with training with Mr. Johnny Smith out of Mobile, and I went from 335 to 225 in 10 months, and got in real good shape. Won all the Tough Man contests. I just then fast. I'm backtracking, but I got to that fight, and it wasn't the same after that, and so I stepped out of it for a little while. Then Brock get back in it, and I won that first fight. Then the company I was working for told me you can't fight no more. What? Yeah, we don't. It's a liability for our company for you to be able to fight. If you get hurt, you won't be able to come to work. So I left them and found a different job. And
I love that.
I mean, and yeah, that's a pretty easy thing to say. I'm a millwright. I'm a industrial maintenance mechanic. We make pretty good money, and when you find a job with a big company making pretty good money, it's not very easy to go out there and find another job with another big company, making big money with the big benefits and everything. But I actually left that job, went to a different job, the job I'm at now, making better money with better benefits. And so I'm like, man, I won all the way around. Plus, I get to fight and make that extra little bit of money here and there,
Oh yeah.
And so I did good on that, but yeah, man, just I'll ramble on all night long, but get back to it. The what got me back into it was watching my old buddy Brock, watching him fight, and I reached out to Mr. Roy, and then Brock told me the correct people to get in touch with. Nate Shook, and I got in touch with Nate, and lined up a fight, and I guess the rest is history. I took that little while off, and look, this is what's crazy. So I took that little while off and I started training in the backyard, still wearing my work boots. There's videos of it out there somewhere, me hitting a punching bag hanging from a big oak tree. And I'm in my work boots and my work jeans. And so I'm hitting that bag and I'm training, I'm getting in shape. And I call Kevin Smith. I was like, hey, look, find me a fight. Oh, okay, man, I'll see what I can do. I won't hear from the man for like 7, 8 weeks, almost 2 months. And then about 2 months later, he's like, hey, man, look, a fight fell out. It's 14 days from now. I can't really get into what all happened, but will you come and fight this guy down in Tampa on this date? Yeah, sure, no problem. Oh, so you know the guy? I don't know, not a clue who he is, but you want to know if I'll fight? Yeah, I'll come fight him. Okay. And he said, called me back 24 hours later. Hey, man, that guy pulled out of the fight. Will you fight this guy? Yeah, no problem. Let me guess, you don't know him either. Nope, not a clue who he is, but I'll fight him. Okay. Call me back later on that evening. Yeah, that guy pulled out, man. He won't fight you either. Both of them keep talking about, that tragic accident, and he asked me about it. I give him details about it or whatever. He's like, so I guess this is it, man. That was two guys said no. So I guess if anything else comes up, I'll give you hollers. Okay. That was that evening. The next morning, he gives me a call. He says, hey, man, look, I can't get into too many details. All I can tell you is the main event fell out, and they're wanting to put Mike Kyle in the main event out here. I was like, Mike Kyle? He said, yeah. I said, okay, yeah, man, that's awesome. Heck yeah. I hope y'all find somebody that y'all want to put in there with him. He said, well, I was hoping I was talking to him. I said, Kevin, don't play with me. He said, no, I'm for real. I was like, dude, look, don't play with me. Are you serious? I said, you better make sure that he'll fight me. He said, oh, I'm sure Mike Kyle will fight you. I'm like, all right, you better make sure. Yeah. I said, okay. I said, look, I've been training every day and work was slow at the time and I was able to bust my butt. And I was in really good shape at the time. So anyhow, we went down there and fought Mike Kyle and and beat Mike Kyle for my little comeback, my return to it.
I saw that
And
today. I saw that also today. I used
yeah,
one of those graphics for the poster today. But
come on, yeah,
unbelievable. Unreal.
yes. Sir. Then work picked up and work. I work at Georgia Pacific, paper mill here in New Augusta, Mississippi. And once work picked up, then it's really hadn't slowed down very much at all. I can't really get in a routine of trying to bust my butt again and get back in the shape that I was in. And I had that routine down pat, and I was in shape. I'm telling you, I was ripping, roaring, ready to go. Finally, with Zach, I was in great shape. Then with
With Mike.
Rumsey, I was in great shape. With Belcher, I was in great shape. And then 14 days out from the fight, I test positive for COVID. And I didn't train for 2 days before that because I just felt terrible. Then work made me test, and they sent me home. And so I'm sitting here at the house for 2 weeks before the fight and can't do nothing. Can't train. Can't hardly get out of bed without coughing up all kind of junk. Can't stay out the bathroom. Me and my trainer, my trainer lives over in Wales in the United Kingdom over there, and we train via FaceTime. And I get on FaceTime with him 2 or 3 different times. We try to train, and next thing you know, I'm having to hang up on him and run to the bathroom in the middle of training. And so for 16 days before the fight, I didn't get to train at all. Plus, I had all that stuff still stuck on my lungs and everything. He said, "You need to pull from the fight, mate. You need to pull from the fight. There's no way we can do this, mate." I was nah, whatever. I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went, and obviously I couldn't do it. I I coughed, and whenever I coughed, I had a big old wad of stuff coming there, and it was just terrible. It was terrible. Anyways,
Yeah.
don't try to do physical activities when you're sick.
Yeah. Take the appropriate time, man. That's
Right.
but unreal. Unreal. I mean, every fight you've had is a classic. It seems like so far. So we're rearing up for another one. Do you think this fight's gonna get done?
Man, look, so I'm always one of them kind of guys. Challenge me, challenge me. I want to be
Yep.
challenged. Put me in there. If you can't challenge me, then at least put me in there with somebody who's really tough, to where I can display my toughness, display that person's toughness, and we can just get it in. We can put on a good fight. Um, well, with this one here, the guy's not tough. He doesn't have
Yeah.
any skills.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously doesn't have any class as a person.
Yeah.
Um,
That was bad, man. That was bad.
yeah, yeah, just everybody keeps. I say everybody. I don't know. Probably a couple dozen people have sent me messages. Man, I really hope you get that fight and tear that scumbag apart.
Everybody
That'd be the
hates him. It's
perfect way.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be the perfect way to dismiss him from the BKFC. You ending his career and blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I kind of hate when they talk about the ending his career thing. I don't wish nobody, even as much as I dislike this guy, I don't wish to injure anybody.
Right.
And when
Right.
somebody says something about ending somebody's career, that's all I can think. But I understand what they're saying. They're not talking about it in that terms. They're talking about, this being the third fight on his contract, and go ahead and whip his hind end real quick and send him on to the house. But my goal for, if I get the fight, my goal is to I just want to break his ribs. Maybe not break them, but like break him down, hurt him, bruise him, make him quit, make him say no mas.
Crush the
And
body. Crush the body. I mean, he's not in shape. I think that's what the main theme of all the memes were. But
I don't know. Hold on. I just want you to understand that round is a shape.
true.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, phenomenal.
But
Right. Right.
he's in no way, shape, form, or fashion is he anything sort nowhere near of a fighter. Now let me tell you this: he's very intellectual. He can talk to you just like he got finished reading a dictionary 5 minutes ago. Oh, he can give you the words of this and the that's, and wants to sound all prim and proper. And so
Right.
You know, look, I can talk a lot better than what I do talk, but I choose to not to because why? You know, why do I want to try to talk over somebody's head every time I talk to somebody? I don't want to. I
Right.
don't want somebody to have to sit around flipping through a doggone dictionary every time we talk. Man, why? You know, 90% of folks just don't keep up with this 14-letter word, that 27-letter word. You know, use common English. You know,
Right. Right.
there's such thing as having common sense, and and common sense says that the 99% of the people you talk to don't just study the dictionary. So use common language, common terms, common English, and
Communicate.
and yeah, it's a lack of communication skills. There you go. That's exactly what it is.
Yep. Not everybody has it. It's sad, and it's getting worse as we get into
Yeah,
the tech era. People don't really encounter each other that much or whatever. But
right. And COVID helped us a lot with
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I love it now, man. Things are just starting to get a little bit normal.
Yeah,
Fans are allowed places now again, so I think that's the main part we're getting used to. But
right.
layoffs and everything, but it is what it is. I
Yeah,
hope this fight happens, man. I hope it
man.
happens.
Me too, because I tell you, he complained about whenever Jensen knocked him out. He says, "Oh, I wasn't knocked out. The doctor stopped the fight." Yeah, because you was saying yes to him, but you was looking off in this direction while you was talking to him. Your forehead was split like somebody hit you with a butcher knife. You
Yeah,
know, you didn't know what your ABCs were. You were 1, 2, 3, and whenever he asked for the ABCs, I mean, yeah, you were out of it, bud.
yeah,
Been there. It's no shame in it. It happens. What there
yeah,
is shame in is trying to say you was okay when you were indeed not.
yeah, yeah,
Ain't no sense in lying about it. It was on pay-per-view television. You can actually pay on the app, go back and watch it again and see that it was
yeah.
bad. And
Zach
then he
chased him.
runs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zach
yeah,
chased him.
yeah. He run from Zach the entire time. Like it was almost like a game of tag, a child's game of tag where
Yeah,
you're in the living room and the whole family's around and you got to be kind of quiet about it. So you just reach out and you tag your friend real quick and you try to get away from, and then they come back and they touch you. So you reach out and try to touch them real quick and then run away from it. That's kind of what it was like. Like he would just touch him and run, just touch him and run.
yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you now, man. My whole boxing career, people would run from me. I'd get in there and with them gloves on, man, I don't have to worry about how hard I throw my punches. I send them,
yeah.
and people would feel my power, and they was like, "Oh crap!" And so they'd start the little running thing. And I learned real quick what it looks like when someone's running when they're fixing to try to plant and throw a punch, and how to dodge and duck and bob and weave and all that jazz. I learned how to cut the ring off real good. So the way that he was able to run from Calmus the whole time, he's not going to run from me like that. I'm just as tall, maybe taller than he is. It's not going to happen. Somebody told me.
I love how you brawl. Like it's brawl time. Like you're right. There is no run. It's not phenomenal. And Zach got into it. I don't know why Zach went at Kyle like that, but he did chase him a lot too. I think he needs to that maybe what he needs to work on. Not that I
Yeah,
know, but if
here's the deal. If me and you are in that ring, in that circle, and you're running from me around the circle, what I don't want to do is take the same steps you're taking in a circle. What
right,
I want to
right,
do is I want to go from this side of the circle when you start running this way, and I want to go straight to where you're going, right across the ring. And then when you go the other direction to run the circle, then I'm going to cut a little bit more off and meet you at that point. And then when you come back this direction, I'm gonna cut a little bit more off. And next thing you know, we're right there toe to toe, and it's put up or shut up. And
and you're gonna get him once. He's gonna slow down, and it's all over as soon as you get him.
yeah, I might not be able to wear my boxing boots, though. I'm probably gonna have to wear my running shoes when we fight.
Yeah,
If the
yeah,
fight happens,
I think
you
so.
know.
I
I
think
mean,
so.
as sad as that is to say, but when you want to beat somebody up and they want to run, you got to chase them down.
Yeah, and it wasn't a good sport. Like just wasn't a good sport, but there was no respect even after the fight. You know what I mean? My man Zach tried to give him daps at the end. When he walked away without touching gloves, man, that's etiquette disrespectful. I didn't like it.
Yeah, man. Look, here's what the deal is, man. We're all coworkers. We
Right.
us in the fighting community, we're all coworkers. Sometimes me and you might have to work together. Guess what? I'm not fighting you. You're not fighting me. I'm not mad at you or talking about your dead relatives or your crappy live relatives. No,
Right.
why? It's not, it's, I think my skills beat his skills. I think he does this wrong. Since I do this right, I'm going to capitalize on it.
Yep.
Yeah, build it that way. But whenever someone starts going and talking about, oh, well, he's just a trashy person or he's just illiterate or he's not very smart. What does that have to do with fighting?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Ridiculous.
yeah,
Well,
we're not taking the SAT. We're throwing hands, bud.
let's talk about heart. You know what I mean? That means a whole lot more than all that junk. You know what I mean? Obviously, he didn't have much, so not didn't seem
Exactly.
like it.
One thing I can say, man, I don't give myself props or credit or nothing, but one thing I can say is I got a bunch of heart. You can see it. I get knocked down, I get back up. I always, as long as I don't get caught on that button and don't get put out, then I try to get back up and try to stay after it. There's been a couple of times where I just took too many, and I wasn't in it enough to know to get
Yep.
back up.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I always get back up. I always look for a fight. You can go back to mine and Calmus's fight, and you can see that baby right there gets back up and wants to fight. And
Unreal.
that's yeah. And oh, McEl boy, he just didn't want to fight. He didn't want to take a chance to have to get back up.
Yep. Yep. It is what it is
So,
now, man. Hopefully, we get that done. Who would you like to see Zach fight next?
man, hold on. Yes, come on, little girl. That's I don't even know, man. I hadn't I'll be honest with you. I hadn't put any kind of a thought to it
I seen.
whatsoever.
When we talked the other night, he was training at one point during the day. He's training someone right now, and the training was they were pushing a like 1984 Monte Carlo in a parking lot or something. Like it was old school, like Rocky training, like up in Gloucester. So it was
Come
funny
on.
to watch. But he called me during that. He's a good dude, man. He's just overall just a
Yeah,
nice guy, nice down to earth. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one. I'd like to see him fight Shoemaker when Shoemaker's come back. I believe that'd be a pretty good little scrap.
You fought him, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was in the ring with him. I ain't gonna say I fought him. I'm friggin' like a big dummy, gonna put my hands down and I was gonna wait on him to throw that right hand so I could headbutt it and break his hand. And the Joker throws in a quick little left hook, hits me right there above the ear. Same Allen hit me on this side above the ear. Sam hit me on this side right above the ear. Arnold Adams hit me on this side right above the ear. You would think eventually I would learn, predict
Right,
this.
yeah.
Them Jokers can beat me through here with a baseball bat, and I'm okay. I was fixing to say I don't look as good, but I happen to feel like it might make me look a little bit better than I do look,
Oh, you're all right.
But
You get to go.
come on. But yeah, it would be. I think they would put on a good fight. Zach and Shoemaker would. I really do.
We'll have to look into that. I know I got to have him back on again because it was just the audio and everything, like I said, wasn't good enough to do him justice. You couldn't really hear what he was saying. So, but we'll get him back on again. I'm interested, man. I'll tell you. How about this? Would you ever? I mean, if anyone, I don't see people had to have called for it already. The rematch between you and Zach.
Man, look, I like Zach. I like Zach a lot.
Yeah. I hear that. I like it. I get it.
You know,
I get it.
they're gonna have to step it on up and pay some big boy money,
Yep.
and we will excite the fans again. But for me and Zach, for I'm not going to sit here and say that the fight would go the same way again. I'm also not going to sit here and say that the fight wouldn't go the same way again. But for either one of us to be able to step up to that level, to be able to the relationship that we have built one another, for either one of us to be able to step up to that level and go at it again, yeah, it,
I love
make me
that.
happy.
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great reason to command money, just because, you know what I mean. You guys, the respect he had for you on that. That was the first time I had heard your name, and he was like, "Oh, I can't even tell you how much I respect him," not knowing that he lost that fight. I didn't know that that's where he was talking from, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
come on.
a ton of respect. They're great. You guys are great fighters, man.
Yes.
I'm latching on late here. Hopefully, I got you guys need to come around Massachusetts so I got to see this live, or I got to get
Come
rich
on.
enough to come be able to find you guys. So,
Come
but
on. I'm in that rich enough boat there. I need to hit the lottery or something.
I hear you. Me too, man. Me too. But we're all right. We're doing all right. We're here still. So,
Come on. That's
um,
right. I'm paying bills.
yep. That's what it's all about, man. So
I
listen,
tell you, I thank God every day for my job I got. I got a good job. I thank God every day for that.
in this country right now, if things are all right, I mean, if you're surviving, it's crazy. Things aren't great, but who knows? Well,
Right.
hopefully we see some change sooner or later with that. So, um,
Right.
Bobo, thank you for coming on tonight, my man. It's been phenomenal. I can't wait for your next fight. That's for sure. You or Zach. I mean, I
Right
can't
on. Yes,
wait.
definitely. And I'm gonna tell you this too. I haven't spoken to him about it yet. So if you see it here, surprise, buddy. I'm I'm gonna see what I can't do about getting some sponsors to help us get Zach down here for a week or two to be able to train with him before his next fight and go over some more stuff with him. I called Zach the morning of his McElroy fight and I give him a little talking to, give him a little, hey, look, don't dump your adrenaline like you did with me. Don't dump your adrenaline. And he did good. He did a good job. He kept himself composed and didn't do the hollering and, crazy stuff or whatever. Had a heck of a look. And let me say this too. Zach had a heck of a time ripping that hoodie off of him. But I've tried that before. I laughed real hard when I watched him having a hard time ripping that hoodie off because I've tried it before. Whenever he went to go do it, I was like, "Oh no, it's fixing to happen." That's a task there, ripping that hoodie off. But no, man, yeah, we I looking to looking to come back, looking to be I will be better when I come back. I will be improved again, and good Lord willing, this COVID mess won't come around again, and won't have to be fighting that battle too. But yeah, man, I can't wait on my return, and I can't wait to, make some more fans for the sport. And whenever I was pro boxing, they interviewed me live on the mic one night and asked me what my favorite thing about it was. I said, man, my favorite thing about it is putting tails in seats. I like to put tails in seats. I like for folks to have something exciting to pay for. I like for them when they head home after they paid their money for their tickets and they're heading home. I want to be one of the highlights of their night. And
Now, in that same sense, the first pay per view that I watched, I was hooked. After the first like two matches, man, the first match, because I think that's what when people think Ultimate Fighting UFC, they're thinking this is what they're coming to watch. What you guys do, but what you guys do is that's a real deal. That's like
right.
the real deal. You're putting yourself in there like the arena. You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean?
We're just the two old school gladiators in the arena with everybody on the dome around us watching us, just go at it. And that's the feeling you get that when you're in there, and it can be eerie if you let it. If you don't know how to prepare for the fight, it can be eerie leading up to it, and everybody will have them eerie moments or whatever. If they don't, they're either not real smart about what they're doing or they're lying to you. So,
I
but
hear that.
look, man, and she keeps coming up here. I got to show you. This is our little my attack dog. Come here. This
Love
is
it.
our golden doodle, Bobo the Bible Belt Brawler, having this big old massive. You would expect to see me with a big bull mastiff or something, but this is my puppy right here. It's actually my wife's dog, but she takes to me
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, I can see you hate it.
Right
Love
on.
it. Love it, man. So I see the pink collar. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Was there any significance to your choice of socks in the fight against Mike? It was
Man,
pink and neon green. I just want to know where it comes from or what.
I don't remember my yeah, dude. I had gray on one side, black on the other, with a pink lightning bolt outlined in the bright green on this one,
Yep.
and a bright green outlined in the hot pink on this one. Where it came from is when I was in high school, we had a guy coming and coaching. He was fresh out of college, had went to the NFL Combine, and he got looked at, and actually got some money. Was sent and played little league, like CFL and arena in a few
Yep.
places. He wasn't fresh out of college. He was about 5-6 years out of college, but went and played arena. Made a few leaks of money, here at the CFL arena league and different stuff like that. But he said he really wasn't that good. He wasn't good enough to be able to do that. But what helped him is he a week before the combine, a week before he went to the combine, he dyed his hair pink and had it in little doo-doo balls. Had it, just in little doo-doo balls all over his head, and had them. I can't remember if he said a bright green or a bright blue or whatever. So the tip of them was a bright green or blue, and the bright pink hair. And said he wore like pink shorts and like a bright blue or bright green shirt, and cut it off to where it just come right. Just did cover up his nipples and barely was a shirt. Just enough to have the number they give him on the back of it. And he wore like knee-high, bright-colored socks, and it all clashed. None of it was, color coordinated. All clashed. He had one cleat a bright color this, the other cleat was bright color that, and said he did it on purpose so that he would stand out to him. If nothing else, they'd be able to say, "Man, did y'all see that guy wearing all that crazy stuff?" And, he stood out.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah,
That's immediately what I noticed. That was like, I wonder if there's something behind that.
That's exactly what I did. But the socks, the reason why I wear the tall socks no matter what, whenever I'm doing something athletic, because I play a lot of slow pitch softball. And whenever I play them softball tournaments, I absolutely hate getting that clay on my shins, in my calves with all that hair. I got it feels nasty. I don't like it at all. Clog up a doggone shower drain trying to wash it off of me,
Yeah.
And so I always wore the knee-high socks. People would know whenever you see me coming up, I'd be wearing my shorts, but I'd have my socks on coming up right there to my knees because they didn't know why. They just thought I was being goofy with my different socks I wore.
Yeah.
And is to keep the stuff off my shins. Well, my wife told me, she said, you got to find some socks to wear. All the guys coming to watch you fight, they're going to be expecting socks. I was like, all right, I'll get some socks. So all my other socks come about midways of my shin. They're not knee high. They come about midways of my shin, just keep it off my lower part of my leg. So I went ahead and got me some knee high baseball socks, the bright pink and the bright green, and I had my trunks matching the color. And what stood out to me was Coach Scott was that football coach's name. Coach Scott always said that you got to do something to stand out. You got to give them something to look at where you stand out, to where they'll be able to, that guy wearing the pink, or that guy with the crazy shirt on, that guy wearing whatever. And remember him, what he did. And so you got to stand out to them in some kind of way. Then what you do will stand out as long as what they see stands out. So that was my impression of, my thought process going into it. Well, Mr. Feldman shook my hand after I fought Troy Beats. Here I am, 32, 33 years old, kind of heavy set. Troy Beats is 42, 43 years old, kind of heavy set. Mr. Feldman said, I never in a million years would have put a young fat guy and an old fat guy on TV to fight. He said, but man, I'm telling you now, he said there was 2 or 3 other fights that I would have much rather put y'all in front of on TV. I'm kind of pissed off at you. You should have told me y'all was going to do that, but here's your money.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so,
phenomenal.
so, man, but like I said, the whole look, it just comes from Coach Scott telling me you got to stand out in your performance and the way you look. Because if you blend in with the crowd, if everybody's wearing khaki pants with or khaki colored shorts with a bright green t-shirt, then everybody looks the same, and there's no way to stand out as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And so do what you got to do to stand out. Everybody talks about the guy with the pink and green socks.
No, it also helps that you threw bombs for like 8 straight minutes without stopping. You got it like while you were standing out with the socks. Crazy. Unreal, man.
Yes.
But it did. It worked. You know what I mean? Like I said. But
Yes. Here's the reason why I do that. The reason why I throw constantly and then trying to be exciting the entire time. When people pass by a wreck on the interstate, there's fender benders. There's always fender benders. When there's a major wreck on the side of the interstate, there's always fender benders in the. Why? Because people are always looking over at that major wreck. Everybody wants to see that mangled body laying on the ground. Everybody wants to see the head rolling around or whatever.
yep.
People will say, "Oh no, I don't. No, I don't." Well, why are you looking over there? You want to see the carnage.
Yep.
Well, BKFC, we give you that carnage, and I want to do my best to make sure, whether it's me taking it or me giving it, I want you to have that carnage. I want you to be able to talk about my fight. I want you to be able to talk about all the blood I caused or all the blood I had running from my face or, whatever. I want you to be able to be talking about me in some sort of way to where it was exciting for you, to where it made a good memory for you. And what better way to do that than to go out there, either kill or be killed kind of mentality.
If that's been your goal, successful, my man, because every single play I've seen so far is just carnage is the exact word that I would use.
Yes,
Phenomenal, man. Love it.
definitely.
A lot of heart inside there to do what you guys do.
Oh yes, gotta be. I'll tell you another thing. The doctors for the BKFC that stitches up backstage, they've kind of figured out who I am because they don't even try to break out that shot to give you, you give you the numbing shot before they give you the stitches. They don't even try to break out that shot no more. They know just to stitch me up without it. I will not let them give me that numbing shot. That numbing shot hurts way worse than for them to just go ahead and stitch it up. So they, I do not know, man. No. It's a preservation thing. I'm telling you, it hurts. It is way better of an experience just to let them stitch my cuts up with no numbing medicine than to let them put that numbing medicine in there. It feels like they're inflating a balloon under the skin. That hurts way worse than just stitching it up. I told him, just get after it, man. You better not put that shot in my head, though. We'll fight.
That's like Viking stuff, man. I get it. I get it. Love it, man. So, anybody you want to shout out? Sponsors, coaches, anybody at all?
Man, I've got a list of people somewhere. I'm gonna
Whatever
try to
you-
do it the best I can. I
whatever you
apologize
wanna
to
throw out
anybody
there.
I forget. Look, I got my good buddy Aaron Gates. He's a friend of mine and owns a company, Wicked Fabrications. He is sponsoring me. They do a lot of fabricating work. They build the mega trucks and they some pretty cool stuff. Man, I got my buddy Bryce Wood and his business partner. They own a company called TC Bowler. We went to high school together, me and Bryce did. Now he's got owns a company that's got offices in 2 or 3 different states around the country. Super proud of him. Very thankful for him. Man, Ryan, I forget Ryan's last name. It's Ryan's Beef Jerky. He got a beef jerky company. You can come to my page and find him on there. Dude, look, sincerely speaking, not just because he's a sponsor, but this dude makes some legit beef jerky, man. Like I order it from him occasionally, like on a pretty regular basis. I say occasionally on a pretty regular basis. It's good stuff. It's
Now
real
you're
good
in
stuff.
Mississippi, right? He's in
Yes,
Mississippi
sir.
too.
No, sir. He's up in the man. I don't even know. I do remember. I did the MapQuest thing to see how long it'd take to drive up there just to shoot the breeze with him or whatever. He's like 13 hours north of me driving wise.
All right.
So And
we'll get his link and we'll put his link in the description on the video. So if you guys check it out, we'll put his website out there.
Look, huge shout out to my boxing coach, Jason Williams with Boxer Tricks. He's out of Wales over in the UK. He reached out to me about doing online training. He reached out to me first and we just chopped it up, cut up, conversation back and forth for about a month and a half. Then all of a sudden he was like, look, man, I seen you talking about needing to find some training. I train people via FaceTime. You want to try that? I'm like, nah, man, there ain't no way. So I go typing up this message. I'm fist be all, cool what I'm saying. No, ain't no way, blah, blah, blah. And I stopped and I told my wife about it. Me and my wife prayed about it together. And as soon as I got done praying, she's like, I think you need to do it. I was like, you know what? I was just having the same feeling. So let's try it. Well, before I fought Arnold Adams, I was thinking about my jab. I was throwing it this way, and I needed to be throwing it the other way, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Very first thing, Coach Jason addresses with me is my jab, and he shows me how to throw it the way that I was trying to throw it, and couldn't figure it out. And so that told me right off the bat, yeah, it's a good fit. It's a go. We got to do this. So now he corners me via FaceTime. He, they'll hold the phone, FaceTime to him, wear the Aftershock brand headset, and they'll wear it. And they'll holler instructions to me that he's giving to them. I can't see him in the corner between rounds, but I can listen to him on the headset, and he tells me what to do, gives me instructions and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Go back and watch the Calmus fight again.
I did. I noticed that. You were pointing to that. I didn't know really what it was. I was going to ask.
At one point, I was trying to talk to him, and he couldn't hear me because it was so loud in there. And you can hear me in the film, in the BKFC film. You can hear me holler. I'll say, "Talk to me, coach," and because he couldn't hear what I was saying. But he heard me then and went to give me instruction. But yeah, man, very very thankful for Coach Jason and Boxer Tricks. Bomb Kings, the guys over at Bomb Kings. Thankful for them, man. They put my name out there, helping push my name. A great group of guys there as well. The guys that Knuckle Up, they pushing my name and helping put me out there. Great group of guys there. Thank you for having me on. It's awesome, man.
I love it, man. But I'm all in. I'm all in on this. I love it. Like the sport itself, that fight hooked me today as well. Zach's first fight. I love it, man.
I want to give a little shout out. Look, I want to give a little shout out to Georgia Pacific, especially the mill right here in New Augusta, Mississippi, for all of my bosses, the management team there that allow me to be able to take off work sometimes on short notice to go and take these fights, that allow me to they allow me to come into work with stitches all on my face, black eyes, and my nose slanted over this direction, and they let me still come to work. I don't give them any grief. I work my butt off for them, and in turn they let me do this, and I was thank God that sending me to this job, this place of employment, making good wage, good benefits, able to take care of my family with it. I'm very thankful for it. Thankful for the BKFC, able to fight for them, make a little bit of spare money here and there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm blessed. I'm very blessed, and I thank God for sending these many blessings in my life.
Love it, man. We love the humble ones that are dangerous. You seem, I love it. They're always so humble, kind, and you rip people apart in the ring. I love it.
Come on, yeah. But look, man, this is the way I think about it. This world's full of nasty. I think we can both agree on that. This world's slam full of nasty. Just turn the news on anytime you want to, and the world's full of nasty. It don't take no kind of effort just to be nice to somebody. It takes more effort to be ugly towards somebody than it does to be nice to somebody. And man, just like Zach, I'm sorry, I gotta throw a little plug in here for me. Like Zach told McElboy, just be a good person. Just be a good person. And it really is that simple. Just be a good person, and it makes the world a lot better, man. It's as a Christian, it's what I'm called, what God has called me to do. You know, be a good person, show people love, unnecessary love. I'm not talking about loving your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your mama, your dad. We're gonna love them. They're our people. We're gonna love our people. I'm talking about that guy over there who just stabbed you in the back. Still show him love. We got a situation going on right now. I will air it out at a later date when everything is changed a little bit, where a guy is doing me and my family pretty dirty. And I'll give all them details later. But I'm still showing that man nothing but love, you know. And that's what I'm called to do, man. That's all I can do.
I get it. I get it 100%, man. I know it takes a different person, but you can tell when you guys are in the ring too. That's
Yes,
how you guys are. So phenomenal, man.
yes,
Listen, thank you again. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna have you back on again as soon as you get a fight signed. We're gonna get back into all this, and I told you I'm gonna lobby for that too. Keep the Kyle memes coming. I know not for you, but all the other people that are making them. It's hilarious, dude. He's catching himself, you know.
Well, I sent you one for before we got on the podcast here that a fan sent to me. So
Love
you
it.
know,
Love it.
yes, sir.
I'm going to put it out there, guys. Check it out. This will be on right after this cast. We're going to throw it on. It'll be shamrocksports508.com, or you can find us Shamrock Sports on YouTube. But Bobo, thank you again for coming on. We'll see you soon, and I'll talk to you soon, my man. Thank you again.